Bum 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 bum. The Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm gonna temporarily call my show the Peter Shit Show. I blew a burnout fuse today at work and on my way home, and unfortunately, I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love all the students there, even my boss, and quite a number of colleagues too. Definitely can't say they're not the best people to work with that I've had all career long. I don't necessarily dislike my commute to work. Yeah, I sometimes complain about it, but it's one of the most beautiful scenic commutes that I've had all career long, right? If I had to choose between this and Seattle or New York or even Rochester, I'd still choose Phoenix in terms of the commute. It's about the same length, but the scenery, right? And I don't necessarily the only thing that I could complain about today is that some of the people here in the Phoenix, Arizona area are not very sensitive to disability. So at the board game meetup, I get a lot of problems uh, having to explain myself in terms of sensory overload, food allergies, and dietary restrictions. Over in Seattle, I didn't have to do that. In Seattle, there was a lot less acceptance of solosexuals. Here, solosexuals are okay, but disability, not so much. Over in Seattle, it was the other way around. So, why can't we just live and let live? So what if somebody doesn't eat your favorite food, right? But that's another story for another time. The main thing I want to complain about is how fast life is churning away at me. What do I mean by that? Well, I've lived in Phoenix, Arizona for a combined total of over 18 months now. 3 months the first time around, a little bit over a year now. And so, to give you an idea of how busy I've been over these last 18 months, I still don't know my way around town. I still rely on GPS when I commute to work, if you can believe that. And earlier today, I got really excited while talking on the phone with somebody that I accidentally put my phone in the glove box. I think I was looking for some papers or something, and the phone just went in there with me, and I couldn't find the phone, and I got lost on my way home. You got to remember, this is a commute that I've made dozens of times, maybe even approaching 100 times, and I still cannot find my way without GPS, and that really frustrated me. Not just because I got lost, but because I'm real frustrated that I've been so consumed with everything else that even a simple remembering the directions has become like that for me. Right? It wasn't just getting lost. If I had gotten lost while on vacation to who knows, Gdansk Bay, Poland, or better yet to Ukraine to see a friend that I met last year at a board game meetup, I probably would have tolerated that, right? That's part of the fun, right? But getting lost on a commute that you've made probably 100 times, that really bothered me a lot. Not just in the terms of getting lost, but in terms of being lost in life. And I had a I'm just lost in life in general. I don't know who my friends are. I don't know who my enemies are. To give you an idea, 2 nights ago, I went to my regular meeting with my boss, and that was the first good meeting I had in a long time. And the reason it was good had nothing to do with work. What had happened was the weather here in Phoenix is so much better, and I walked in with the idea that even if I got fired today, I might have to move out of my home, but weather is nice. This is a perfect time of year to take a camping kind of vacation. And so, oh my God, I'm not afraid of being fired. Let's go in there and find out what's going on. And so I had a really good meeting. And then it hit me, if that's the only way I can have a good meeting, I am so lost in my career. So it was a bittersweet feeling, that meeting I had 2 nights ago. Yes, I was free, but no, I was lost in my career. And unfortunately, I feel completely lost. And so I don't know what to do. And, I'm 36 years old, and I look at my, one of my colleagues is just celebrating his 70th birthday. And I think, oh my God, 34 more years later, and that's who I'll be. And there's still that many years. And just a feeling of being lost. And it's just a very scary thought, right? I'm serious. The only reason I had a really good meeting the other day was because this is such a good weather to take a vacation. If I'm going to be fired, I can take a silver lining out of that, right? It certainly beats being fired when it was 120 degrees out there, right? Just, but as soon as I got that good feeling, I realized how scary that thought was as well. So it was bittersweet. And Jen Talley says, "Is your job too boring?" No, I love it. That's why sometimes I go in there with a lot of trepidation. Is this it? Am I being fired? And to give you an idea of how much anxiety I had one time, I was this was not at this current job. It was at my last job. My boss was elderly. He's 74 years old, I want to say, and he sometimes has. I hate to say this on camera, but he's slow because of his age. He was talking very slowly, and I kept anticipating his next words. I kept thinking, is he going to say "you're fired"? And I kind of mouthed, "You're fired, you're fired, you're fired." I was waiting for him to say it. He didn't. In fact, he had good news for me, if I remember correct. I can't remember the exact details. But yesterday, because the weather was so nice, I thought, gee, if I'm getting fired, I'm getting into my car and I'm driving somewhere fun. And when I thought in those regards, I lost the fear of seeing my boss. And unfortunately, in a few more weeks, it's going to be really bitter cold out there. I probably won't have that kind of feeling again. And then 6 more months from now, oh my God, it's going to be burning out there. So I'm trying to enjoy that brief moment of reprieve that I get. It would be so nice if I could travel to Ukraine to see my friend at some point. I also want to go see the statue of Mary Curry and decorate it with a bunch of jewelry that I have containing 2 of her favorite elements. I got a couple radium watches, and also as you guys saw, I made a small amount of polonium using one of my bismuth statues. I'm going to make a bismuth statue of the Tree of Life because I think Mary Curry would have been Catholic, and I'm going to put that next to a beryllium rock to activate it so that there's a few atoms of polonium. And I'm also going to collect a bunch of dust around the house, which also contains the way she made it, right? There's artificial polonium and there's natural polonium the way she discovered it. I'm going to turn that into some jewelry and decorate her statue and make a video there. And I also want to go see my friend in Ukraine. I really need to catch a breath. Everything's just whizzing by. There's no time to really breathe. It just feels like everything's just racing away, right? And kind of like that polonium decaying, right? Everything that I think I have is just crumbling away, and then new challenges crop up. And not that I don't like any of these challenges. I just need to catch a breath. That's all, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Oh, it was Peter Shit Show. See, just talking to you guys, I feel so much better. It's gone from a shit show to only a dislike show now, so I feel better. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.